Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we'll be doing another deck showcase since I had no other ideas. So, this will be my beautiful Arcana Force deck. If you guys haven't seen the anime, Arcana Forces are more luck-based, and the character that used them tried to base everything around destiny, and so they used Arcana Forces. And they used Arcana Forces as he used Arcana Forces as the Destiny Keepers. So let's get into the deck. The first card will be Arcana Force EX, the Light Ruler. And what the Light Ruler does is it cannot be normal summon the set. You have to special summon it from your hand by sending 3 monsters. You have to tribute 3 monsters you control to the graveyard, and then it summons them, and it cannot be special summoned by other ways. And then when this card is summoned, toss a coin and gain the appropriate effect, which means if you toss a coin, call it right, or no, not call it, but you toss the coin, whatever it lands on is what it gets. Heads is when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can target 1 card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. So say you had like a Monster Reborn or a card that you wanted to keep from your graveyard, then or keep out of your graveyard, then you can just use him after you destroy a opponent's monster by battle. The next, but his tails effect is during either player's turn when a spell or trap is activated. That targets this card is activated. Wait, that targets this card is activated. Okay, that's really weird wording. But when it's activated, that targets the card. This card loses 1,000 attack and you negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So usually Arcana Forces have one good effect, one really good effect, and one really bad effect. But with the boss monsters, like with the 2 EX, the Light and Dark Ruler, they have no bad effect. So yeah, and that's leading on to the next card, Arcana Force EX, the Dark Ruler. And it can only be special summoned the same way, and then whenever it's special summoned, it gains the appropriate effect. Heads, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase, but if it does, using this effect, change it to defense position at the end of the battle phase. Its battle position cannot be changed until the end of your next turn. Tails, with this card is destroy all cards in the field. He is usually you want to keep the second effect, just in case he is destroyed. But the second effect is also good because if he does have a pretty good defense with 4,000, which is the same thing as the Light Ruler. The next card is Arcana Force 21. I think that's what that Roman numeral is, or it's XXI. Then when this card is summoned, toss a coin. Heads, during your next end phase, you can send 2 monsters you control to the graveyard. Skip your opponent's next turn. Meaning all you have to do is tribute 2 monsters, and you're pretty much skipping your opponent's turn. You're drawing another card, and you're playing your move. Tails, during your opponent's draw phase, add the top card of their deck of their graveyard to their hand. So if this can get them a pretty good card back to their hand, so usually you would want to try to get heads, and there's cards in the deck that pretty much bend in favor, like the field spell pretty much gives them whatever effect you want for a price. Arcana Force XVIII or Arcana Force 18, the Moon. His effect is when this card is summoned, toss a coin. Heads, during your next standby phase, you can special summon one moon token, and it's a fairy type, fairy type light, and then attack 0, defense 0. Tails, during each of your end phase, select 1 monster you control and give it to your opponent. Yeah, that's with the 2800 beat stick. It's kind of obnoxious to having to give over your cards to your opponent, so you'll try to bend it to the heads. Arcana Force 14 Temperance or XIV. And that's during damage calculation and either player's turn, you can discard this card. You take no battle damage from that battle. When this card is summoned, toss a coin and apply the appropriate effect. This card the effect lasts while this card is face up on the field. Heads half the battle damage you take. Tails have all damage your opponent takes. Yeah. Duh. You would want heads. Arcana Force 7, the Chariot. In my opinion, this one is the best if you can power it up. And what it does is when this card is summoned, toss a coin. Heads. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, special summon that monster to your side of the field. So he can always attack and destroy. If he can attack and destroy the opponent's monster, then you're getting that monster to your field. Like, say if it's a really powerful monster, but it has really low defense. All you have to do is attack with the Chariot, take control of it. Tails, your opponent gains control of this card. Yeah, so he doesn't gain any benefits, just a 1700 beast stick. And I'm pretty sure that's with all the arcane forces. They all have the same amount of attack and defense. Like, they have the same amount, so this is 17. Arcana Force 6, or VI, the Lovers. When this card is summoned, toss a coin. Heads. This card can be treated as 2 tributes for a tribute summon of Arcana Force monster. Tails. You can attribute Arcana Force monsters. So, yeah. This card, if you do get Tails, it's still a pretty powerful card. It's just very obnoxious because then you can't pull out this one, or this one. And you want to be able to pull out these guys because these are the boss monsters. You can't pull out them. There's no point. And then Arcana Force 4, the Emperor. This is the card I was talking about with giving your monsters attack points. Heads, all your Arcana Force monsters gain 500 attack. Tails is the exact opposite. All Arcana Force monsters you control lose 500 attack. And he just keeps giving it to them. So even say you summoned this guy after you summoned him, he would still gain the 500 attack points from the Emperor. Arcana Force 3, the Emperor. So I'm just gonna say the numbers. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not gonna say I, or 0, or IV, or XII, or yeah. I'm not doing that now. So even though I'm already pretty much done with the monsters. But Arcana Force 3, the Empress. When it's summoned, toss a coin. Heads, each time your opponent normal summons or sets a monster, you special summon 1 Arcana Force monster from your hand. It may not be able to special summon these guys, but it can special summon anything else, and their effects still go through. So yeah, it's a fun monster. It maybe have weak attack, but like, if you have the Empress and the Emperor on the field, then she's still having 1800 attack points. Arcana Force 1, the Magician. When this card is summoned, toss a coin. Heads, when a spell is activated, this card's attack becomes double its original attack until the end phase of that turn. Tails, when a spell is activated, your opponent gains 500 life points. If your opponent's going to gain life points, you should just kill this card. You'll take damage, but it's worth it if you live and you can destroy this monster, and your opponent's running a spell-based deck. Arcana Force 1, the Fool. What the Fool does is whenever it's summoned... this card cannot be destroyed in battle. If this card cannot be changed to defense position, when this card's effect... With this card's effect, when this card is special summoned, toss a coin and gain the appropriate effect. Heads, negate all your card effects that target this card and destroy them. Tails, negate your opponent's card effects that target this card and destroy them. So this one you want Tails, and the reason it's called the Fool is because usually the Heads is the best one, but for this one Tails is the best one. And usually you want to summon this in defense mode, because if your opponent flips it up, it can't be destroyed by battle. So, And then this effect activates where it gets flipped up. Tails. Hopefully you get the Tails. If you have the field spell and it's working, then obviously you're going to pick Tails. Spellbook of Power. Target one spellcaster monster you control, which is all of them. Oh. Is it Spellbook of Power. Let's just say that none of them are no monster is no monster is a spellcaster, and I thought with a name called the Magician that they would have a spellcaster. So that was a fun first card that was even useful. But card 2, yeah, let's get on the second card. Terraforming. This card is run in almost every deck with field spell, and the deck, and this is no different. It's terraforming, add one field spell from your deck to your hand. It's a good card. This Valhalla Hall of the Fallen. Once per turn, special summon one fairy monster. See, this is where I got it right. I thought they were spellcasters with the Magician and the Fool. That was wrong. They're all fairies. I looked at that, and each and every one of them are a fairy card. So, this is the best one. Special summon one fairy monster from your hand. You must control no monsters to activate this effect, or to activate and resolve this effect. So usually, if your field is wiped and you have nothing, except for a couple of cards in your hand, except for these guys can't be special summoned. This guy, though, if you have X the World, or the Chariot, or Lovers, or any of the fairies, pretty much, and any of the Arcana Force monsters that can gain attack that can destroy your opponent's monsters and control that monster. Any card that can destroy everything on the field, that's the kind of card you want to special summon with this. Or you can special summon the Fool and make fun of them, and special summon in defense mode, activate this effect, Tails, and you have an immune monster on the field. Second coin toss. Oh yeah, I read 3 Valhallas. And then second coin toss, it's pretty much exactly what it is. The name pretty much tells you exactly what it does. When a coin toss is performed, you can choose to redo the coin toss. If the coin toss involves multiple coin flips, you redo all of them. You can only use the effect of the second coin toss once per turn. and a card I just added, Mount of the Bound Creator. Since the 2 boss monsters are level 10s, Mount of the Bound, if a level 10 or higher monster is on the field, that card cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. If a level 10 or higher monster is on the field, destroys a opponent's monster of battle and sends it to the graveyard, the player who controlled the destroyed monster takes 1,000 points of damage. When this card is on the field is destroyed by a card effect that sets to the graveyard, add 1 divine monster from your deck to your hand. Obviously, we don't have any divines in this deck, so we're going to be only using it for its first effect, pretty much, which protects these big guys, these 4 guys. Then the other field spell is Light Barrier. Light Barrier is... Oh hey, I didn't notice that. Okay, so Light Barrier is pretty much an Arcana Force card, and then during your standby, toss a coin. If the result is Tails, the following effects are negated until your next standby phase. When you summon an Arcana Force monster, choose which effect is to apply without tossing the coin. For the Arcana Force monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you gain life points equal to that destroyed monster's original attack. So, say you have this guy, and you have this. You're gonna attack this to kill your opponent's monster, and then you're gonna gain more life points because of it. So, unless your opponent has something to negate it, which just sucks. Which honestly is awful. So yeah. So that's the field spell, the 5 field spells. These 3 are the biggest for the deck, considering how they're all Arcana Force. I run 2 Quaking because it messes over a lot of decks, and it's fun to mess with people. So like, I gotta throw it in, right? I gotta. Another card I have is normal Mirror Force. Once again, I like to mess with people, so I'm throwing in the Mirror Force. Some of them can't be destroyed by battle, so that's why I also run Quaking. Because if they don't destroy each other, I flip them face down. And if they're a Link monster, I'm Mirror Force them. Sorry guys. And then Arcana Call. Select 1 Arcana Force monster you control. Move and play 1 Arcana Force monster from either player's graveyard. Until the end phase, the selected monster's effect becomes a removed monster's effect for the same coin toss result. So it's pretty much you switch monsters out and switch effects. So to give your opponent or Arcana Force monsters more power, pretty much. And that's that, guys. Hopefully you all did enjoy. If you did, please be sure to leave a like. And if you do enjoy this content, subscribe. And I'm sorry I haven't been posting. I've had a lot on my plate, and I've been trying to also think about if I should create a vlogging channel, which tell me down below if you would like to see that, and I'll try my best to get the channel out and to give you guys that video. So yeah, hopefully y'all did enjoy. See you guys next time. Oh wait, no. Turn on the notification bell too. I'll be watching. Notification bell. Love you. Bye.